Hello everyone, welcome to IPM IAS Academy's Daily News Highlights. Today is 7th August 2024. Let us try to understand the important news for today's discussion. Before that, if you have not yet subscribed the channel, please subscribe the channel so that you will continue to get updates regarding civil services examination. Bangladesh students ask UNIS to lead for now. So what is the present situation in Bangladesh? So that is the point which is addressed in this article. The Bangladesh President Mohammad Shahabuddin on Tuesday dissolved the 12th Parliament formed through the January 7 national election and assured the country that fresh elections will be held as soon as possible. So what is the reason for this? The reason is the resignation of Sheikh Hasina. Okay, so that led to this dissolution of the parliament, and now it is going through a tough space where they do not have a proper administration in place. Now the student group, they have actually proposed the name of the Nobel Peace Prize laureate Muhammad Yunus to lead an interim government. Mr. Yunus has given his consent to take on the responsibility, according to Nahid Islam, a protest coordinator. So it is very important to understand these 2 points. One, the administration going on in Bangladesh right now. The second one is who is going to lead the interim government. So that is Mr. Muhammad Yunus. Now, who is Muhammad Yunus? He was a Nobel Peace Prize laureate that we know. What are the details about him? And what are his contributions to economy? What are his contributions to society? Why he has got the Nobel Peace Prize? All these points will be important for you. So understand about Muhammad Yunus and also understand about the present situation or the present circumstances that Bangladesh is going through. And as the neighboring country of Bangladesh, we need to take this case as very serious because we are sharing borders with Bangladesh. And in one of the article, we are also highlighting the strengthening the BSF, Border Security Force, because we share a huge border with Bangladesh, so that area need to be protected. This particular article is coming in page number 1, General Studies 2, International Relations. Harris picks Tim Walz as vice presidential candidate. So as we all know that the American presidential election is going on, and based on that, the Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris on Tuesday selected Minnesota Governor Tim Walz to be her running mate, choosing a progressive policy champion and a plain speaker from America's heartland to win over rural white voters. So that's an update regarding the American election. As I have already told you, there is a video completely dedicated for the American elections. It is there in our YouTube channel, so please watch that video to understand about the American election process. And now we have a new vice presidential candidate also in America. So read this article and understand the developments in America. This article is coming in page number 1, General Studies 2, International Relations. Now trade with Bangladesh remains suspended, BSF on high alert on border. So this is what I was mentioning in the first article. The BSF, that is Border Security Force, and their main duty is to protect the borders. And now this Border Security Force is on high alert, and they have strengthened the force and they are making all possible measures to ensure that the borders are protected. Okay, so here our trade with Bangladesh also suspended, because already the problems are going on. So we are not in a position to continue our trade relations with Bangladesh. Amidst ongoing unrest in Bangladesh, trade between India and Bangladesh remains suspended. Daljit Singh Chowdhury, Director General Border Security Force, and senior officials visited the integrated checkpoint at Petrapol and the border outpost Ranaghat of the 68th Battalion in West Bengal's North 24 Pargana district. Okay, what is the primary objective of their visit here? To strengthen the border security force. We share a long boundary with Bangladesh, and around 4,096 kilometers long border we are actually sharing with Bangladesh, and out of that, around 2,216 kilometers lies along the West Bengal region. So this is the scenario there. We are sharing this border, and there are chances of more people coming to India, which will affect the Indian security scenario. So we are not in a position to accept that or accommodate that. That is the reason why we have strengthened our border security force. So with this, based on this particular article, try to understand about border security force, BSF, what are the functions of border security force, and along with that, our border with Bangladesh, the details regarding our border with Bangladesh, and then the other paramilitary forces which are engaged in protecting our national security, like the CRPF or the Indo-Tibetan Border Force. All those forces details you need to understand, because this is a very crucial area in internal security. So this particular article is coming in page number 5, General Studies 2, International Relations, and also in Internal Security. Internal Security will come under General Studies 3. Earthquake 2500 years ago abruptly changed Ganga river's course. This article is very interesting because this study shows that the river Ganges has actually changed its course because of an earthquake that happened in 2500 years ago. So read this article, which will give you a clear idea about how earthquake is affecting the course of rivers. Okay, what are the reasons for it and the geographical terms associated with it. All those points are covered here. So in this context, you need to understand about what is an earthquake, how the earthquake occurs, and how it is actually affecting the course of the rivers. And now they are saying that around 2500 years ago, this change occurs, and how that actually occurred. And now in this present scenario, how did they come to that conclusion? Okay, what is the evidence that lead to that conclusion? All those points are listed in this particular article. So read this article and try to understand about how earthquake is affecting or impacting the course of rivers in our country, especially the Ganges River. So understand more about earthquake, how the earthquake is actually measured. All those things are important for us, and this particular article is coming in page number 7, General Studies 1, and it is a very important topic in geography. Okay, so it is on the one side they are talking about the geographical phenomenon like the earthquake, the natural calamity like earthquake. On the other hand, it also talks about the Indian physical geography, where they discuss about the course of river Ganges. From hope to despair, Hasina developed an authoritarian streak as she stayed on in power. So this article is trying to understand how the rule of Sheikh Hasina was during her tenure. So the student protest related to this quota in the government jobs, that has actually had more than 300 people died in this particular incident, this protest, and that is the reason why Sheikh Hasina was forced to flee the country also. In this article, they are trying to understand how her rule actually resulted in this particular situation and how it is going to affect India. What is India's stand on this particular issue? All those points are listed in this particular article. So read this article and try to understand about India-Bangladesh relations. Page number 8, General Studies 2, International Relations. Powering up to get to the $30 trillion economy point. So it's a very important article which is actually coming under economy, that is General Studies 3, economy. So here they are trying to assess the progress of India as an economy, and our objective, that is as per our official objective of 2047, we would like to reach that number of $30 trillion. So how you can become a $30 trillion economy? Okay, and what are the different ways in which you can actually adopt? All those points are actually listed in this particular article. So read this article. This will definitely help you to frame your perspective regarding the Indian economy, the current situation of the Indian economy, and how the Indian economy evolved from 1990 onwards, and what was the situation before 1990, after LPG reforms, 1990, especially the time period from 2000 to 2010, how was our economy performing and what actually contributed there more. So it was mainly the IT sector has contributed a lot during that particular time period. The IT boom was there, so that was there, and what happened afterwards. Okay, how you can actually reach to a level in which we can have a $30 trillion economy in 2047, what are the important steps we need to take on the implementation of tariff levels? How can you make a change in that? Okay, if you reduce this tariff, how can you improve your performance in the international market? If you reduce your imports and increase your exports, how can you perform in the international markets? All those points are actually listed here, and they also address the importance of our potential working age population and how we can utilize that population for a better future, and the middle income trap, why we are actually into this middle income trap, and how you can actually get out of this. All those points are listed here, and they also emphasized on a cluster-led industrial model which will help you to reach this $30 trillion economy. All those points are clearly discussed in this article. So read this article, try to understand about the economy of India and how we can reach that $30 trillion mark in 2047, and what are the steps we need to take as a country. And here they clearly mention about the importance of private sector. Okay, so leveraging the importance of private sector, or coming up with liberal policies that will enhance the performance of private sector, all those points are listed here. Okay, so read this article and try to understand about it. And this is coming in page number 8, General Studies 3, Indian Economy. A shift in the US to autocratic trends. So in this article, the author is trying to address the shift that happened in United States from a democratic oriented country to an authoritarian oriented country, or means to this autocratic trends. Okay, so since the Second World War, Washington has defined its foreign policy as a moral conflict between democracies and dictatorships. Though this definition proved malleable and redacted to those siding with the United States and those against, the binary between democracy and autocracy is now further blurred by political trends within the US itself. So mainly this article is trying to understand how this orientation towards democracy and this orientation towards the authoritarianism has evolved in the country. So whenever we discuss from the international point of view, we used to say that America as a democratic country has contributed a lot to the development of the world. On the other hand, we should also understand that America also shows the authoritarian trends at various intervals, at different timings, at various international engagement. They have actually shown this trend also. And now the present situation, how it is actually contributing to that, and the candidature of Mr. Donald Trump, how it is actually contributing to this trend. All these points are listed in this particular article. They also mention about the transition that happened from the past, that is from the American presidency has undergone periods of transformation in the modern era, each involving a dramatic expansion of power. The first was the rise of administrative state under the Theodore Roosevelt and Woodrow Wilson. So here they are actually mentioning about it, mainly how the evolution takes place, how the transition mainly takes place. So that is clearly discussed here. And what is the present scenario of America? The populist extremism is the new normal of the political right, and that has taken over the Republican Party. It energizes the party with hatred for the administrative state and embraces the strongman presidency as the panacea for its grievances, thereby threatening the basic fundamentals of democracy. So which means the populist extremism or the popular tendency is more towards an authoritarian way of rule, in which they consider it as a panacea for all the problems that they are actually facing, which is directly going against the principles of democracy and the Democrats also. So here they clearly mention that the populist faction, perhaps majority that dominates the Republican Party, embraces a strongman vision of leadership that operates beyond customary democratic norms. So basically that is the attitude that the America is actually showing right now. So let's see what will happen after the election also. But so based on this article, you just try to compare the transition of America over a time period, okay, from a democratic country to so more oriented towards a strongman vision of leadership. So try to understand about it. And this article will help you to frame your opinion, frame your perspective regarding the American general elections, regarding the American administration, etc. So we are not going to get more statistics, or we are not going to get facts and figures from this, but you will try to understand the trend of American democracy and politics. This article is coming in page number 8, General Studies 2, International Relations. Counting the poor having nutritional deficiency. The National Sample Survey Office recently released a detailed report based on the Household Consumption Expenditure Survey HCES 2022-23. Along with the report, the unit level data on household consumption expenditure is available in the public domain. The HCES collected data on the quantities of various food items consumed by households during the specified reference period and the total value of consumption of different food and non-food items. So basically, the whole article is trying to understand how to identify the poor, okay, how to identify the nutritional deficiency among the people. So how can we do that? Okay, what are the different ways in which India is following to identify this? For that, we need to define poor. So that was actually done in our economy. We could see that based on the recommendations of various committees, we try to define poor in different ways. So the committees like the Lagdawala committee, then the Tendulkar committee, the Rangarajan committee, all of them have actually contributed to how to define poor people in our country. And our country has also come up with various measures to understand the nutritional deficiency among the people. So all those points are addressed in this particular article. So the article clearly addresses how these calculations are actually done and what are the various calculation methods we have followed in our country, okay, for identifying the poor and also understanding the nutritional deficiency. Try to understand the various ways in which the nutritional deficiency can be calculated. Okay, so read this article. It's a very important article. You have to take some time and read it, then only you will be able to note down the point, especially the statistics and the authorities and the calculations which are actually included in this. So this article is coming in page number 9, General Studies 3, Economy, Indian Economy. So here is an announcement regarding our guided PCM course 2025, Prelims and Mains course. So you can join for the course, but before that, take the scholarship test, and the scholarship test link is there in the description. And take the test, and if you are getting really good marks, you will get the course at a highly affordable price. And you have course in 2 plans available. One is 6-month plan and 1-year plan. So those who are beginners, please go with the 1-year plan, and this is ideal for students, working professionals and passionate IAS aspirants. If this video was useful for you, please do share it with your friends and ask them to subscribe the channel so that they will continue to get the updates regarding civil service examination and current affairs. Thank you.